Hey, what's up? This post is for my DJ friends especially. All right, I'm just gonna let you know that for now. I'm gonna show you something that old school DJs used to do back in 1979, before technology changed and shifted everything. And I'm curious to know if afterwards I'll see even one comment from an old school head who can say that, yeah, I've seen that run, I've seen that live, I've seen a DJ do it at a club or at a banquet hall or maybe at a DJ competition. You know what I mean? But this is an old school trick. All you need for this is two turntables. Actually, cut that, one turntable and a mixer. And one more little thing right here. This little roll of tape. Okay, you need to have something like this, something very similar, but this is the cheap alternative, one roll of tape. So this is a short demonstration, and what we're going to try and achieve is something that can be easily done today with technology. If you have Audacity and a laptop, you can take any song, any MP3, and within a matter of, less than 1 minute, convert it to achieve what DJs had to work so hard to do before. But in 1979, there is no such technology for DJs like myself. For a demonstration, for example, we can use Mad Cobra here, a song called Sex. And you see how quickly, look at that. We're just converting that very quickly and bang, there we go. We've reversed the song. We can do anything we want with it. We can make it play backwards. Okay, so you see how quickly that can be done, but again, in 1979, there was no such technology available for us humble DJs. You can manually, and DJs did do this, spin their record counterclockwise to make their songs play in reverse. But the problem with this is it's not a steady performance of the record. But as you can see, it goes on and off a lot, right? So there's got to be another way to approach this other than trying to manually. That ish just doesn't work. But DJs sought to go further. I'd love to credit the DJ who actually invented this. I was taught this trick in 1979, but I don't know who it is. If it is Grandmaster Flash, for example, I have not read that in any textbook, so we don't know, but it's kind of a cool technique. Oh yeah, and let's not forget our roll of Scotch tape. Essential for this trick to be pulled off. So let's do this. All right, we want this baby to play backwards, so what do? First thing I'm gonna do as a DJ is to creatively anticipate how I will use this song. I can reverse it, I can use an a cappella instead of a beat, various things might sound neat, but in this case, I'm gonna use the song's instrumental, I think. All right, I've auditioned track 1, 2, I know what I kind of want, so it might sound nice to be rid of any of that poppy commercial flavors that I tend to stay away from, so yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna try track 3, the instrumental, and that's a rub-a-dub mix. Alright, there it is. Sounds nice. So again, how do I make this record spin backwards and keep a steady revolution? Something old school DJs only used to do because we didn't have a choice to do it any other way. So let's see if we can pull this off. If you can incorporate this somehow in a modern DJ competition, you might get a little attention paid to you, maybe even win the whole thing. Imagine that. The first thing that we have to do is put away the record of choice that you're going to be using. All right, put that aside because we got to do some other things first. So let's do it. Now stop your turntable platter from spinning if it's doing just that. Turn the power button off or use the stop button. And now we get our roll of Scotch tape. What we're going to do is place the tape perfectly in the center position of the mat. You can test the positioning a few times now, because it's like, if you have a good eye, you might get it the first time, but you might have to start and stop the turntable a little bit now to see if it's perfectly centered. Once it is now, there's another step. You go to the turntable's anti-skate, which is on the right side of the arm. Usually I keep it around 2 or 2.5, but for this lesson, we need to adjust it and put it all the way to 0. Now make sure your turntable arm is locked with the little arm lock. because now we're going to adjust the weight settings at the rear end of the arm. You're going to go to the turntable weight and you're going to turn the dial clockwise so you can manually slide it backwards to the point where it is almost as far back as it can go. Okay, essential for this. Now, if you take the lock off the turntable arm, okay, go ahead, take the lock off the turntable arm, you'll see that the arm naturally raises itself upwards awkwardly, as if some radio person was sitting on the opposite end of a seesaw that you were on. Once that's happening, things are going right. There's the next step now. You have to relock that same arm, but this time, after you do that, I want you to remove the cartridge from the turntable arm. Okay, remove it temporarily. Okay, you got it? Put it in your hand, flip it upside down, and place the cartridge back into the arm socket that you took it out from in the first place. So flip it over 180 degrees so the needles are pointing to the sky, and now you're going to tighten that cartridge back into the arm. And after you do that, relock the turntable arm again. Okay? Beautiful. Now let's get our record back, and we're going to flip it upside down so the track we want to play is in the bottom, not on the top. You would normally put the needle on the record. Now you're going to put the needle under the record. Now we're going to do our best to perfectly place that record atop the roll of tape that you've perfectly centered on the platter. Try starting and stopping the platter a few times and slightly shifting the record's positioning in order to get the best possible placement. Okay, don't be afraid to play with it for a while. Once you're satisfied, here's a final step. Yay! Make sure the platter is stopped first. Okay? Stop. Unlock the arm lock. And we're going to carefully move the cartridge to the end position of the chosen third track on the record's underneath position. So you got to move the arm so the turntable cartridge is on the inside of the record, not on the outside edge. The cartridge will follow the laws of gravity and will lock into the grooves like a magnet. After it does so, press the play button and your record is playing. That's it. The record is playing, but it's playing backwards, which might sound really cool for recording or just to blow away people during a live DJ performance. So. Alright, so there you go. That's what DJs used to have to do back in 1979, around that era, to make a song play backwards and stuff like that. So yeah, big up my old school DJs, man. A lot of hard work to be creative and inventive and pioneering back in the day. So big them up. And whoever invented that, man, kind of cool. I like it.